You need a lot of diligence, and you have to continuously do it, even in the time when you are selling. One of the reasons why you see there's a lot of flood in land is people try to backstab the market. You try to sell land at a very low price, land which already is within a market which is high priced. The best time to buy land was yesterday.
Some leaders inspire with their words, others with their actions. But the truly exceptional ones, they do both. Today on Yakuti SMB's The Leader segment, we sit down with a man whose leadership in real estate is not just about selling land. It's about creating opportunities, securing futures, and building trust. He's a strategist, a visionary, and a man deeply committed to making property ownership in Kenya more accessible, transparent, and rewarding. From his time steering Hasibu Housing Company Limited to his new role as CEO of Fusion Estates, he has remained focused on one thing: helping people make smart, safe, and profitable investments. But beyond the numbers, the transactions, and the boardroom decisions, who is Mr. Morris Njagi? What drives him, challenges him, and keeps him going even on the toughest days? Today we uncover the man behind the leadership. Mr. Njagi, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
It's truly an honor to have you here.
You're most welcome.
Before we get into your career and the real estate landscape, I want our audience to know the mind behind the title. Tell us about your journey. Who is Mr. Njagi at his core? What shaped you into the leader you are today?
Thank you. Thank you very much for this interview. And I'm sure at the end of this interview, you're going to be inspired. And a few issues about myself and the far that you have come in this journey. I'm a business student. I'm a student of business, and I studied commerce with a lot of specialty in marketing, and I've worked for the last 20 years.
Impressive.
Yeah, for the last 20 years I've been in this field. I've worked in the insurance industry. I've worked in the bank. I've been a banker for the longest. And finally, I joined the real estate. And previously, in my last assignment, I was the CEO of Morris Housing for 7 years. And I joined this wonderful company, Fusion Estate. And this very year now, we want to create new industry. We want to make customers happy. We want to touch as many lives as possible. We want to see expansion of the residential homes. We want to see more people own homes, because that is a dream of every human being. Everybody wants to own a home. That is the aspiration. And most people, if you talk to them in the streets all over, one thing that people always work for is to have shelter, to have a roof. Apart from food, that is the second most important aspect that affects all the people across all generations. And at Fusion Estate, this is an assignment we understand very well, and we have more focused to ensuring that we settle as many people as possible.
That's fantastic, Mr. Njagi. Now, allow me to ask you, having been in this new transition from banking and now you have settled into real estate, what was your key influence and what informed that transition?
Of course, it's not easy to transit, especially when you get from a familiar zone, and like banking was an area I was very familiar with, was more comfortable. But again, there are many things that influence people to change careers, rather move into unknown. And one of the reasons why I dived into the space of real estate is my desire, my own personal desire to own a home. And I realized that it was not easy to own a home, especially because the market was a bit fragile. There were so many fraudsters in the market. The information which was out there in the market was very misrepresented, and many people feared land buying companies. Many people feared entering into that space. And above that, also there is out of misinformation about owning a piece of real estate. In most cases, people feel like real estate is for the rich, people have a lot of money. And when I join this industry, one thing that I try to create is a space where everybody can own a piece of property. Because in Kenya, every day you find people killing each other. You read news, a family, brother and brother, they are killing each other because of a small boundary of 1 inch, 1 meter. And somebody loses their life. And then I always keep on asking myself, this guy, just 1 meter of a boundary has made you lose your life. What can we do differently to ensure that everybody owns a piece of land? Whether they are rich, whether they are middle, whether they are lower down and lower of the segment, everybody has an opportunity to acquire a piece of land. And that is one of the reasons which motivated me more to join this industry, to ensure that we find enough property for everybody. Somebody who has 130,000, we can give them land. Somebody who has 10 million, we can give them land. Somebody who has 5 million, 3 million, everybody can own a piece of land. And you can be able to put up a home for your children. You can be able to put up a roof on top for yourself. And that is what makes the world complete. And in that way, I looked at how can we also be able to bring communities together. How can we be able to create homogeneous systems? Because when you sell property, you don't know who you're going to sell to. Sell property in Kitengela, for example, you are selling to every member of the community. You have in Kisis, you have in Kikuyus, you have in Lugos, you have in Merus, everybody buys. And people come there and they coexist and they live together. So that is my joy. That is my pride. When I travel to some of the properties which we have sold, and I see how joyous people are, people have developed homes, children are playing, they are happy. I mean, it gives me a lot of pride, and honestly, it's part of my inspiration in this journey.
Awesome. Now, leadership is as much about personal values as it is about professional experience. What core values guide you, not just as a CEO, but as a person?
Yeah, I think leadership is not easy, and especially when you have to build companies. One thing that drives me a lot in this life, especially when you are working in this kind of companies and you try to build business, is also creating employment for people. Because one major problem in this country is lack of employment. And when you are able to create employment for people of different ages, I see people coming to me asking for jobs. Some are 50 years, others are 20s, and they tell you, you know what, Mr. Morris, I can sell. Just give me the job. I feel inspired. I feel, okay, are you sure you can sell? And I've never told anyone. I always repeat, I've never told anyone selling is easy. But still, people want to do it. It's an inspiration for me, and they give me a lot of resilience, knowing that what we are doing is the right thing. And something else very important that I need to mention is, as we do this job, something that always keeps on inspiring me every day, is when you see that you have gone to a property. You know that when we buy some of the properties, a bush, they are so desolate. But you find that you are able to develop this property. You are able to settle people. And people who are homeless at some point, people who have never imagined of owning a piece of land, now they not just own a land, they own a home. It feels so good. and it motivates me every day, and it gives me energy to continue for another day. So some of those small things have enhanced my own personal values. And one thing that I've really leaned upon in this business is doing this business with a lot of integrity. Because again, when people trust you and then you hurt them, you lose their money, you do all that, it's a big disappointment. And one personal value that I have adhered so much is honesty, ensuring that if I tell you that this property on 10th of April you're going to receive your title, I ensure that by that day the title is ready. And that is what keeps customers coming back to us and ensuring that we continue serving them. And above all, we always maintain a personal touch. Personal touch for me is very important. When you keep on talking to the people, when I visit people or I meet people that I've sold to who have settled 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, and they tell me, thank you very much, that was a nice property. It always makes me feel so good, and it gives me a motivation to say, then I want to continue. And some of these people refer their families to you. Some of the people that I have sold to are even my own family. That tells you that the level of trust that you have created in the market is huge. And that is what we want to continue building on. When you go to the diaspora, you get stories of people who have suffered in the hands of family, who have suffered in the hands of friends. And what do you do? They want you to help them. You present yourself as a solution. And that is what I've always done. When I sit in America and I'm talking to people who are working there, people who want to invest more, I have always presented myself as a solution. And always I ensure that the solutions that I offer are solutions which are possible, and we ensure that we implement them. When you implement these solutions and you have satisfied people's needs and desires, it is what keeps us moving. So in simple, the values of honesty, the values of trustworthiness, the values of integrity, the desire to see other people succeeding and even doing better than yourself are what carries me every day.
Real estate is not an easy industry. It's competitive, it's demanding, and it requires guts and heart. What has been the most defining moment in your career so far?
Of course, the industry is not easy because in the past we have it's an industry which has been which has faced a lot of storm, a lot of challenges in the past. When you think about the frauds, some of the properties that you buy, even in some instances when you try to search and find out who the real owners are, the fraudsters are always ahead. And in some instances, you end up losing money for people. And I can say that one of my most challenging moments is when we were duped by a land seller. And everything looked obvious, and you were shown a property. You do search, the owners come and they say, this is my property. Everything looks okay on the ground. You go to the registry, it looks okay. You check everywhere and everything looks fine. And you start selling to your customers and people are happy. You have given them a nice property. Until the day you go to transfer, and then you realize that the green card is missing or is different from what you were sold. That's a very serious disappointment because you break the hearts of so many people. The company loses reputation. The company loses money. I mean, it's bad. And one of the instances about that happened to me when I was working for a different company. And everything looked okay until the last minute when we went to transfer the property and then realized that we were duped. Actually, that is one of the instances. And then there was also another one when we went to buy some property. and everything was okay. But then when we bought the property after we left, squatters came and they invaded the property. And everybody had a story. I mean, this is where we were born here. I mean, we grew up here. Some people even tell you my grandmother was buried somewhere there. I mean, it's a sad story. And all these are conmen, all these are fraudists. They are people who just want to take advantage of you. And in the process, you end up losing money. Because for you to remove the fraudsters from the properties, it means that you need to pay them. That is not money which you had budgeted for. So I can see real estate is hard. You need to do a lot of diligence and you have to continuously do it. Even in the time when you are selling. Even when you find the first time the land is okay, you start selling, continue doing diligence. And these days we have enhanced our diligence. At Fusion, we ensure that we do it in a 360 dimension. Apart from the diligence that we do at the registry and the land registry, we also conduct diligence at the court registry. Because there are some of these properties which have issues of succession, you can't even proceed. Others have cases which files are still open. Others have encumbrances which are not clear to the land registry. We do all that. And even after you have done all that and you have confirmed it's okay, you still move to this is something called the intelligence. The intelligence, you also allow them to conduct search for you. Because every property in this country is known. If you go to a village and ask people who own this land, people will tell you this land is owned by Mr. Morris. So people know who owns land everywhere. And it looks simple, but it's very important. And when we do this, we are trying to overcome some of the obvious challenges which at times we overlook. And I want to thank the government because of they have brought in the aspect of land digitization. Because now this has kept off the fraudsters who keep on changing the green cards of the land registry, the ones who keep on overlapping the titles and duplicating them. And at the end of the day, the land real estate industry is getting better. It's getting more informed. It's getting more professional. And I can comfortably say that at Fusion Real Estate, we have not sold any project which does not have titles. Because before we move to the ground, we ensure that all the titles for that property, leave alone the mother title, all the subtitles are being processed. And that is what gives confidence to our market. And that is what has also made our business easier. Because we want to create a positive story about real estate in Kenya. We want to be the company where people can turn to every time. And you know, in this market, there are so many small timers. People think they can sell land, they wake up in the morning, they have 2 acres, they subdivide, they push in the market. They have no title, they have no nothing. But they make people to believe that the following day, they are going to get titles. But at Fusion Estate, what we have done is to ensure that you can buy your property today and tomorrow you can develop it. And we do that by ensuring that number 1, titles are ready. Number 2, all the necessary amenities. If it is power, it is truck. If it is water, in some instances we do the reticulation of the water. If it is the roads, they are nicely cut, nicely backfilled, nicely marked, and in some instances we pave them, or like a new project which are coming up like Juja, we tarmac. That is the kind of value we are giving to our members and our customers alike.
When you're not closing deals or making investment decisions, what does Morris Njagi do for fun? What keeps you balanced outside of work?
Yeah, I'm a fun guy, and I love travel. And I love the beach. You can leave me at the beach forever, and I'll never get bored. And I mean, anytime for me, any chance I get to just unwind, I always love the beach. But besides that, also, I'm a person who loves sports. I love watching the athletics. It's very motivating when you see the energy people put in to finish a race. I mean, it's very inspiring. And every time I watch, I feel something inside me. The kick, especially when you watch these marathoners or these people who are doing the middle distance like 5,000, 10,000, when they are putting their energy together, it just tells me this is what you need to win. And even at times when you feel like you are broken, you are down, and then you watch such a race, 10,000 meters. It's a long, it's not an easy race. Or a road race, and these guys are just kicking. And then the last 200 meters, somebody just does a sprint from nowhere. It gives me a lot of hope. And that's why I love sports. I'm also a football enthusiast. And, of course, I watch the English Premier League and I follow it for some time now. Of course, my team is not doing very well. But
Tell us which one is it?
we are there at Old Trafford. We are trying our best. I'm sure we'll come back stronger. And I'm a loyal fan. That's why I've not moved. Most of my friends moved to other clubs which are doing well. But for the last 20 years, I've supported Manchester United. And I want to continue doing it because that is what makes a strong leader. You don't give up. You always go back and ask yourselves, how can we do it better next time? And that is where I am. So basically, I don't have so many hobbies that I do apart from travel. I love traveling. I can travel the whole world. I love moving out there, nature. Of course, I told you about the ocean. I love it. And and apart from that, I also do farming, a little bit of farming. I love dairy farming, so I'm a small farmer. Not very small, but not big. But it's a space I also enjoy being in. Yeah.
Thank you for letting us into your world. Now let's shift gears and talk about real estate, investment, and the future of Fusion Estates. Fusion Estates is one of the most recognized real estate investment firms in Kenya. I just have a few awards that are available for anyone to check. One is awards that the mother company Fusion Capital has won over the years. There is Best Private Equity Firm Real Estate Investment in 2022, Best Property Investment Managers 2022, Best Real Estate Fund Managers 2021, and the Fusion Estate Investment Management, which is a sister company, was voted Most Improved Asset Manager in Real Estate Investments, runners-up 2021. Fusion Estates, the company, won an award as the Best Value-Added Land Selling Company in 2023 by the Real Estate Awards, 100 awards. Now, as its new CEO, what's your strategic vision for the company?
I think my vision at the moment is creating more value for the shareholder, because companies are built by shareholders, and the essence of all is value. And the time I'm here, I want to be remembered as a CEO who brought more value to the shareholders and create more excitement also to the stakeholders, because the stakeholders are part and parcel of the company. Without the stakeholders, then the company doesn't move. So basically, mine is more value creation, and that is where I want to base my strategies on. Yeah.
Kenya's real estate market has seen rapid growth, but also challenges such as land fraud, as you mentioned earlier, high interest rates, and inflation. How is Fusion Estates positioning itself to address these challenges and provide credible, and I mean credible, investment opportunities?
Yeah, there's a lot of fraud in real estate, especially in land, because there's a lot of collaboration between the land sellers and some agencies and some other cartels which operate in this industry. That one does not deter companies like Fusion Estate to do business in this country. One way of which we are trying to do this is, number one, to ensure that every property that we put in the market is verifiable in terms of land ownership, who owns the property. Number two, we ensure that the property is free from any other encumbrance. Number three, to make it more easier for our customers and to make it hassle-free, we ensure that before we even take it to the market, we have processed the titles. In that way, we are keeping at bay any would-be fraudster. And above that, Fusion Estate, we have set ourselves apart as a company which is run professionally, and our focus is customer first. We ensure that our customers are happy, our customers are wowed. The experience we give them is like no other. Remember, I've said before that if you walk in the Fusion Estate office and you want to buy land in Kitengela, you can buy land today in Kitengela and tomorrow you can start developing, because all the titles are here in this office. We are not going to give you a story of we are going to go where, we are going to do this. No. And that is how we have been able to beat the game of the fraudsters. Most importantly, we have also ensured that we enhance in our innovative approaches to the market. Also by also ensuring, because you ask yourself, what is it that is stopping people from buying property? One of the biggest problems, of course, is financing, and this is the question. We ensure that at the same length, we offer the market flexible payment terms. Not everybody is able to afford 10 million or 5 million or whichever amount of money you are selling your property at. But then, since we want to accommodate everybody, we allow them to have a flexible payment term. In that way, we keep at bay people who would detract, because some people, one of the reasons why you see this out of flooding in land is people try to backstab the market. You try to sell land at a very low price, land which already is within a market which is high priced, and in that way you attract people who think that this person is selling land at a better price than the other person or the other company. One thing I want to tell you is that at the Fusion Estate, we ensure that every person who comes to us gets property which they can enjoy peacefully for their lifetime. There is no time that somebody is going to come and say, "Oh, you know what? This is my property." No. And last weekend I was in an engagement with some young people who are interested in acquiring property, and they were asking me a question which is part of what you have asked me. And they were asking me, I mean, what's the difference buying property from a company like you or buying property from individual? Because individuals appear like they are cheaper. And I look at it very simple. When you buy land from a company which is established like Fusion Estate, even if it didn't happen and the deal doesn't go through, your money is safe. Come back to us and tell us, you know what? It didn't happen. Give me back my money. In unlikely event that one happens. Number two, people also decide to buy properties from companies like us, and then in the process, their financial fortunes change. They are not able to proceed. Then you also don't lose your money. You come to us, tell us, you know what? I wanted to buy this property in 10 months. Now I've just paid for 5 months. Maybe I lost my job, I lost my business, I lost all this. I'm not able to proceed. And then we just say, okay, in that case, we can either give you a refund or we can transfer you to a different project which is cheaper. We have all those options. Unlike when you give your money to a small timer who is just out there, by then you are coming back to them, the money you give them has already been spent, or even they are nowhere to be found. That's the difference. When you work with a company like the Fusion Estate, you are sure, like day and night, that you are going to beat every trap which may be along the way. And above all, when we sell these projects, to ensure that the communities continue existing together, we form a management company, and a social welfare. These are companies that help now to manage the estate because we want the value of the estates to be maintained throughout. The social welfare groups, these ensure that people live homogeneously because we're going to bring in people from different backgrounds and they have to coexist together. The populations, the children, all those things. And basically, I can say that we have, as Fusion Estate, we have managed to beat that trap of fraud. We have managed to beat that trap, and the people that we have served so far, they are happy, and most of them come back to us to say thank you. You give us a good project.
So many people, especially Kenyan diaspora, are keen on investment in property, but often worry about trust and security. How does Fusion Estates ensure investors, both local and international, can invest with confidence?
Yeah, we know that diaspora is one of our biggest markets, especially in Fusion Estate. We have a huge diaspora market from Europe. We have a huge market in North America, the US, in Canada. We have a huge following in Asia, in the Middle East, in Australia, even in some parts of Africa, like southern part of Africa, Botswana, Namibia, South Africa, and even in the region. One thing you realize is that the international market is very keen in investing here. And of course, as we have said before, the market is a bit volatile, and some of these people end up losing their investment process. What we have done at Fusion Estate is we are able to walk the journey with our diaspora and international markets. Number one, when we do like a site visit, like an open day, we ensure it is a live event. Even somebody who is in the diaspora, they can follow. Why are you doing it live? It's because we want them to see real time the project. We want them to see the property. If you go to the website, and even what now we are currently doing is to ensure that all the properties that we are selling, you have a way of seeing them real time. When you do that, you're able to say, if my property is number 10, I can be able to see my number 10 on the satellite platform directly from wherever you are. It's not a story of your plot is like this. You can be able to know the gradient from where you are. Point number 3, of course, the process of verification. We ensure that the properties are well verified. When it comes to transfer, we even offer, we have our own internal legal counsel, which helps our customers in the process of transfer and the verification of documents. Before we put land on sale, if a customer wants to see the search, they are public documents. We're able to share with them. We don't have to incur an extra cost unless you want to. We conduct a valid search, enough search, in 3 areas which I had mentioned in my previous interview. That is the land registry, the court registry, and we also engage the intelligence so that they can be able to determine fully who the owners of the properties are. One way, the final way in which we have ensured that the diaspora markets, they are satisfied with what we are offering them is also to ensure that all the properties we give them, even if, because most of them want to verify, even sending their own people, their friends, their family, their colleagues, we are able and open to assisting them to verify through their friends, to verify through their family, to collect all the information, all the details about this project until they are fully satisfied that this is what I want. And one thing I want to tell you as I end is we have been able to satisfy the diaspora markets. I have been able to talk to many people in the diaspora, like in the US. I've been to Washington, in Seattle. I've done meetings. I've been to Arizona. I've been to New York, New Jersey. I've been to North Carolina. I've been to Texas. I've been to San Francisco. I've been to almost every corner of the US. And I can tell you, every time you mention people are happy because they save. And of course, also customers follow people. I've been moving in and out of the diaspora market for the last 10 years, and I can tell you, when you enter in these meetings, in these markets, because of the trust that you have gained with people, people follow you, people listen to what you say, and that is how you have been able to ensure. Because in marketing, and it's a lesson that we train in marketing 101, is the first impression that you create is always everlasting. People always remember the first impression. That also means that for you to gain trust with the market, for the market to love you and to like you, it is the impressions you do to them. And those impressions also mean if you can keep your word. If I tell you next time I come to Seattle, I'm coming with the title deeds, that's what I do. I carry them in a bag and I tell them, these are your title deeds. And I issue them in a public gathering. When I go to Atlanta, Georgia, that's what I do. When I go to Texas, to Dallas, to Austin, to all those cities within that area, that's what I do. To Houston, many customers in those markets. When I go to Canada, to Toronto, that is what I do. When I go to Europe, to London, when I go to Paris, when I go to Berlin, that's what I do. Show the customers are happy. Even here at home, our Africa diaspora, we go to Gaborone, we go to Cape Town, to Joburg, huge market, and people follow you because not of the company you work for, but because you have been trusted. And that is the value that we have created with our international markets.
Speaking of opportunities, Fusion Estates has a new land investment project in Narumoro. What makes this a great investment choice?
I still love Greenville. Greenville is one of our projects we have is in Narumoro. This project is like a sandwich. If you look at a sandwich, it's a product which is sandwiched between Mount Kenya and Aberdayers. When you wake up in the morning, you wake up to a snow-capped Mount Kenya. And as the day progresses, you can't miss, the way Aberdayers appears to you. Like that one huge flatbed. When you go to Cape Town, there are those things they call the Table Mountains. For me, Aberdayers look like a Table Mountain. And every time I look at it, I'm like, wow, this is a Table Mountain. Now imagine, this property is sandwiched between the two. And what we realize about Greenfield property in Aberdare, in the north, is that it has some of the best weather. When it is extremely hot like it has been, and it is still very hot in the country, then you don't feel the same when you go to Narumoro because of the nice breeze that comes from the mountains. And you are experiencing this breeze from both Mount Kenya, and you're also experiencing this breeze from the Aberdayers. That gives it a very nice and comforting, homely feeling. And one thing what I've also been saying is, in terms of weather, when it is also very cold in most parts of the country, the place is warm. It is almost vice versa. It is very warm. And what I've experienced and what I've seen from most of our customers is most elderly people are finding it a very good place to stay. People want to run away from harsh weather, and in Africa as we age, our bodies also face a lot of challenges. Some of us suffer from, some people suffer from arthritis. Those conditions which also are aggravated and accelerated by, especially extreme cold weather. Narumoro is a place to be. it's warm, and it is safe. And above all, this is a very exclusive property. When you are in a mall, nobody can even know where you live, because the way the exclusivity and the security that comes within the same area. What about the beauty? Wow, a beautiful product. As you enter this property, you enter through Soy Ranch. The sight of zebras, giraffes, so many wild animals. I mean, it's a scenery. It's a wonderful, beautiful scenery. As you take your drive through, I mean, it feels like you're just in a park. There is no difference. You just feel like, wow, this is just a park. You can imagine when now you are surrounded by such a ranch, and then you go in and get sandwiched by these mountains. It's a beautiful project, and honestly, I would buy it 100 times. And I encourage everyone, before the properties are over, because many people are buying this property in the mall, and those are some of the reasons why people are buying it. It's a wonderful getaway. If you want to get away from the noise and the chaos of the city for a weekend, then Greenville project in Narumoro is number one on my bucket list. And imagine the price, 450,000. If you want just a piece, but you can have it up to 10 acres or more because of the way we have done the subdivisions. There are people who have told us they want to come and put up villas, and we have given them bigger subdivisions. There are others who want to invest for speculation purposes, and they want to buy it in halves. We have allowed them. There are others who want to put cabins. They want to put it to construct cabins where people can come and stay the weekend over, more of a B&B model. They're welcome, because the property is more of a resort. Somewhere you can just go and rewind and enjoy your weekend, or somewhere you can even work from. Those people who want to work in quiet places, this is the place to be. So I invite everyone to inquire about this product. You can reach out to us through our website. If you go to our website, you'll be able to see this project. You can also reach out to us through our social media platforms. We are on Twitter, now X, we are on Instagram, we are on TikTok, and we are also on Facebook. You can reach to us and see more and get more information about this product.
The real estate sector is evolving, especially with technology and AI-driven investment models. How do you see technology shaping the future of real estate in Kenya?
Of course, technology is going to shape the future of every industry, not real estate alone. And the emergence of AI, which now I think is the big thing, and the big data. Of course, it's helping companies in the way they are doing their businesses and making their business a bit more efficient. The other day, we were discussing about the impact of AI, and then actually I realized that we have been actually using AI in small ways, not necessarily knowing that it is AI, or the way we gather our and harness data has been put to a new level. And you know what is going to happen is that people want to vet and understand about your company. You just do it on AI, because AI is going to give them all your past projects, what happened, if there are any customer complaints, if the satisfaction levels, all those things you can be able to scale them within AI. And what we are doing as Fusion Estate is, number one, we have embraced the digital transformation. Right now, what we are working on is a transformation where our customers don't even have to go to site. They're able to come to the office, and they are able to through images which we are going to which are going to be installed in cameras and stuff like those. They're able to see all the projects from here. They can be able to do a walkthrough in the project. I mentioned about what we are doing in terms of ensuring that when we have like site visits, somebody does not even have to come also. Like when we have opened this, people can want to follow everything that happens. We have embraced the aspect of webinars to ensure that all the information which is required by the customers is available through these conversations, through these talks and shows. We ensure that the customers are not left behind. And the most important is also how we use data, because data is very important. We ensure that apart from being data compliant and ensuring that we don't misuse any information that come to us, the way we protect our customers, because there's a lot of corruption of data nowadays. We ensure that our customers are free, they feel free, because again with AI and the digital age, then it also means that loss of data is going to be one of the biggest things. So we are investing in that technology which is going to protect our data and ensure that whatever information the customers give to us is not manipulated in any way, and ensure that it is safe. So the essence of technology is to make business more easy and efficient, and not just to the players in the business, but also to the customers. Right now, our customers can be able to access all our projects through the CRM. We have enabled, the customers can come and say, okay, I've gone to the CRM and I've picked plot number 5. That is an interface which we have created for the customer. And when the customers have selected that property, it means there's nobody else who can override. So it is sold. That is the kind of interaction we are creating, and we are enhancing these type of interactions to ensure that the customers feel they are part of the business and the journey, and above all, ensuring that we create platforms which are safe for business. So we can't run away from the age, whether you are in which industry, whether it is real estate or whichever industry you are in. We are set to do more on the digital age, space, and ensure that our listings can be able to be seen from every platform that the customer gets into. So basically, yeah, we are fully embraced this, and we are learning more, because every day there is something new to learn about. We are learning, and we are improving, imparting more skills to our teams to ensure that our teams remain updated and up to date in terms of skills on how to dissect such information and ensure that Fusion Estate remains on top.
Many young professionals and first-time investors want to get into real estate but feel like it's only for the wealthy. What advice would you give to someone looking to start with small capital?
Investing in land is not for the rich. Everybody can invest in real estate. At Fusion Estate, what we have done is that we have enabled this process by ensuring that we offer every person, especially the young people who want to start land acquisition, a flexible payment plan. What we ask for at Fusion Estate is just pay 30%, and then come to us and tell us, I want to pay my balance in 1 year. I want to pay my balance in 15 months. Fine. That is what we work with. Because what we want is to ensure that we have an inclusive journey where everybody and no one feels like they have been left out. All of this is an exclusive club for a few people. Everybody can own land in Kenya through Fusion Estate. And that is why vision estates exist. Our vision is to be a land ownership partner, and that is what we mean, and that is a journey we want to walk.
So lastly, Mr. Morris, you
Yes.
said your friends call you Mr. Morris.
Yes.
To be one of them.
Yes.
If you could give advice to aspiring investors looking to build long-term wealth in real estate, what would it be?
You know, they say that the best time to buy land was yesterday. And now the second best time to buy land is today. What I can advise any young person or any individual interested in selling land is, number one, is a step. Take a step at a time. Buying land should not be a matter of life and death. Of course, we have seen how people are sold each other because of small pieces of land out there. We want to give you comfort and peace of mind when we are acquiring land. At the moment, we are in proper negotiations with 3 banks in this country. And what we are trying to establish is a MOU where all our customers can be able to be financed by the banks to buy and build. Buy and build. This is going to work in 2 ways. Number one, somebody is going to acquire property. Number 2, the banks are going to assist them to develop. Because one of the reasons why people feel like they don't buy land is because they wonder, where will I ever get money built? But if you're able to persuade the bank that you can be able to pay your loan in the next 10, 15 years, then that is the person, you are the person we are talking about. Because already we have entered, we are almost finalizing a relationship with 3 banks, which I'm going to announce later. Because we're going to have a wonderful signing ceremony. And we are going to invite most of our customers and people who are interested in this project. I'm very excited about it because it's going to unlock many people who have just been buying land or they have been aspiring to buy land, but they can't buy it. So buying land is a process. And what I can tell you is that when you want to buy land from established companies. Because the companies do the donkey work. They ensure that everything, all the properties that they are putting in the market, they have done all the verifications. The properties are from encumbrances. And above all, their properties, they have security. They have the common amenities. One of the things that people always look at is something called water. Nobody wants to go to a property that has no water by any chance. Because you always ask yourself, how are you going to develop? How are you going to live there? Is it a desert? What is it? We ensure that we offer that solution. Power. You don't want someone to feel like they're living in the bush. So we give you a property which we are able to drop the power. And then from there you connect yourself. So what I can advise anybody who is interested in property is visit Fusion Estate Company. Our offices are at 4th Gong Avenue Towers, 20th floor. When you come there, you find many people, many staff who are well trained, ready to assist you. Point number 2, don't fear to acquire land. Because the more you wait, the more you lose the opportunity. I always tell my staff that I had a chance of acquiring a very valuable property a few years ago, and I had the money to buy it. But then in my mind, I was like, I don't want to live there. What I didn't know that time is that you don't buy a property because you want to go and live there. Property is a store of value. Today, the properties which was being sold to me at less than $500,000, today I can't afford because they're in the way of between 15 and 20 million. And it's not like a long time ago. Just the other day when I was working in the bank, I always neglect losing the opportunity. And I always advise people, don't regret, because we're going to regret later if you don't buy it now. Even if you're not going to live there, buy. Because If you want to live in Runda, you can still buy land in Rongai. You can still buy land in Kitengela. You can still buy land in Kikuyu. When time comes for you to move to Runda, you sell. And you have money to put up your beautiful home in Runda. Because that is how you store your value. But if you don't buy, even the money that you have, you still don't keep it. And you can't account for it. So don't wait. Buy now. And the place to buy is at Fusion Estate.
If you're looking for a secure and profitable investment, Fusion Estates is a name you can trust. See you on the next one.